Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy298 here, and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on my channel. Today we are back with another F1 2016 career mode video for you guys today here on my channel, here with Mercedes-Benz at the Brazilian Grand Prix, round 20 of the season, getting very close to the end. As you can see, we actually got a brand new part to the car, which was the extra downforce for the car, so something quite a little bit of an extra boost as we push on towards the end of the season now. And you can see Manor have actually upgraded the downforce on their car as well, so they're also doing some development. But if you guys do enjoy today's video, drop a like on it, that'd be absolutely amazing. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, I highly recommend that you do. Make sure you keep up to date then with all the videos that I upload when I upload them. So anyway, here is all of the usual laptop screens that you see at the start of my episodes. I just completely forgot to do it for the previous episode. In the driver's standings, we've already wrapped up the World Championship. We did that back in Japan. Yeah, Red Bull of Ricciardo still now in front of Lewis Hamilton, which is a big one. And in the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes have also wrapped that up as well. So we've had a brilliant season so far. And there's our trophy cabinet, lots of first places and lots of podiums overall for us. Moving on then into the track acclimatization, we're gonna get perfect on this. The only thing I want to say, guys, is the poll to see which seat that I stay in is open still till about midnight UK time. Well, around about then, yeah, I'd say around about between 10 p.m. UK time to midnight UK time. The poll will shut because eventually I need to record the last episode of my career modes, and in that final episode I need to accept the contracts then that's going to get given to me. Yeah, I need those votes in if you haven't casted them. There's been loads of votes anyway, so just in case you haven't yet voted, you can go and do it there. Anyway, into the tyre wear test, we got that, and we got the perfect score on that. And then finally, in the qualifying simulation run, we also nailed that as well, getting us maximum resource points for our car. And we're stacking up the resource points, well, basically, because we're not going to make any more upgrades, actually, for the rest of the season. So I will be ceasing the R&D development for this season so we can start it again next season. Or we may not even be staying at next season. We don't even know yet. Anyway, we're going to be getting the session goals from Emma now for qualifying. And as you may remember from the previous race in Mexico, again, go watch it if you haven't, we're not doing qualifying again. Because I'm sticking with what Schumacher said. And we're going to start plumb last once again. I really like the idea of it, and because I've won the championship, what more is there me to do? Like, why should I just start from the front and just sail off into the lead? Why don't I just fight the field and just, you know, have some fun? So that's what we're going to be doing. Once again, we're going to be starting P22. So these resource points don't really count towards anything because we just don't. Yeah, there we go. And in the rivalry, Lewis Hamilton actually beats us for a second time. And that, of course, is because he actually did qualifying and I didn't do any qualifying. But anyway, finally, we're going to have the race objectives from Emma. And she's going to say to get 7th place, beat Lewis Hamilton, and in the Drivers' Championship target 4th or higher. Until then, guys, well, there's nothing else, actually. Let's get into the race for the Brazilian Grand Prix.
As surely as the sun rises in the morning, the Brazilian Grand Prix packs out the grandstands and creates incredible drama. Title deciders, heartbreak, triumph and home glory. All these and more can be found in abundance here at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. Two very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junção into one of the two DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. As the drivers complete their preparations down below us on the grid, one man who's no stranger to the pre-race pressure is Anthony Davidson, who joins me in the commentary box today. Great to have you with us, Ant. I'm sure you can tell us all about what goes through a driver's head before lights out.
Well, from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Okay, we've already won the championship, so relax and enjoy this race.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Bottas, Kimi Raikkonen and Verstappen, Massa, Hülkenberg, Perez and Fernando Alonso, Button, Gutierrez, Romain Grosjean and Sainz, Palmer, Haryanto, Daniel Kvyat and Marcus Ericsson, Wehrlein and Nasser, Kevin Magnussen, and a Mercedes rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right then guys, as you can see, we are now on the grid here for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Again, I thought let's just switch it up. So as you can see, here is the current strategy of the soft tyres and then the medium compound tyres. And I had to take a look at the projected race time. I am going to be spending a little longer. I was thinking of going on the hard tyres and then going to the soft tyres to the end, but I didn't want to take the hard tyres so far in the Grand Prix. So what I decided to do is I'm going to just go onto the medium compound tyres to start with, and then I'm going to go on the soft tyres. If you have a look at the projected race time, I'm actually extending my time in this Grand Prix by half a tenth. Literally just half a tenth. It is absolutely nothing between starting on the softs and starting on the medium. So what I thought is to go on a different strategy this time, because in Mexico I tried to get the undercut to try and overtake the front runners and it just didn't work for me. However, because I felt like I have the pace round here, why not stay out, and then when they're fighting through the traffic who are also on long stints, I won't be in the way and I can get away up front. So that was my initial thinking. We'll have to see if this strategy works. It may not be the right strategy to do. Anyway, as you can see now, we are back on the grid after the formation lap. We have now 5 red lights here for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And it is lights out and away we go here in Brazil. It's been an okay-ish start from us. Nothing too special. We're going to slot into the middle of these drivers here. We then break out of it. And then we're going to go down the inside of a couple of drivers here. And we promote ourselves up into 15th place. So that's 6 places gained already. But the Manukar there looking very feisty. But we managed to stay in front of him. Up 6 places. Or not 6 places. 7 places actually. From where we were. Now we're going to be getting the slipstream here off Jolyon Palmer in the Renault, and then going down the inside here of Palmer, Gutierrez and Grosjean. But we do try and get around Gutierrez, but we decide to back out of it and give Gutierrez the place because there's just no point in me fighting it. But I am going to stay around the outside of Gutierrez and expect a move coming very soon, and that's exactly what we do. We stick with Gutierrez, who's on the mediums himself. He's actually gone and lost the back end of the car here and sliding and literally going back onto the circuit there. Gutierrez losing the back end of the car, as I actually did shove him wide onto the grass, which was a little bit silly on my behalf, but I was coming through anyway. Down the inside now, Fernando Alonso into the inside of this left-hander here. Next up, my hit list is Jenson Button for a chance to be into the top 10 already at the end of the first lap. So I go for a move down the inside on Jenson Button, and unfortunately, Button fights it off. So as you can see now, we actually tapped Jenson Button on the grass, literally losing the back end, just missing the wall there. So close from a massive accident, but we somehow we've managed to correct the car there and stop ourselves from going into the barrier and having a horrific incident. Bitty silly stuff there from Button. He completely closed me off, and now I'm looking to try and get him back, but there's just no room there and I run wide and I have to conceal the place. Looking back at the start then, you can see Hamilton got a good start and managed to jump Sebastian Vettel off the line, and then myself here at the back. I got into the middle of all the drivers. I thought that was going to be the wrong way around, so then I decided to brake earlier, and then I broke later then at the actual braking zone to give me the best run into turn 1, give me the outside into turn 2, and then the inside once again into the long sweeping turn 3, which is what we did. And now we're going to be catching up to Palmer. You can see Hamilton building a lead already out front from Ricciardo, Vettel and one of the Williams drivers. And this is when I go down the inside of Palmer and also Romain Grosjean. I didn't quite get the move done on Esteban Gutierrez, but as you guys know, we went around the outside of Gutierrez, which you can see here braking nice and late and making sure that we complete that move on Gutierrez. And you can see there, in fact, I gave him a car's width, so really, there's nothing I could have done there on Gutierrez. I made it very tight and difficult for Gutierrez, yes, but there was still a car's width on the circuit, so really there's nothing else more I could have done about it. I went down the inside then of Fernando Alonso, which promoted me into 11th place on the grid. Next up, I was hunting down Jenson Button in the other McLaren Honda, who is stuck behind one of the Force Indias. I believe that's Nico Hülkenberg. And as you can see, we actually got the place. Then Button came back, and then he turned in on me. And then this is when I nearly made my massive accident. You can see me sliding across the circuit there from that camera angle. And then I slot back in. Luckily, Alonso didn't get past me. And because I've got the power of the Mercedes engine, Alonso just couldn't use that Honda power to get past me, which was very fortunate. Moving back to where we just were onto lap 2 now, we're going to go down the inside of Nico Hülkenberg, or think of having a look on Hülkenberg, as we try our hardest to see if we can spot a place down the inside of Hülkenberg, nice and late on the brakes there, and Hülkenberg left for dead. A little bit sleepy there, as he didn't quite cover that inside line as much as he probably should have. Next up is Jenson Button, who we're definitely going to want to not overtake, but we definitely want to give him some sort of statement after he really did nearly cause us to retire in the Grand Prix. So we go down the inside of Jenson Button in the same corner. This time I I closed the door as quickly as I could and as fairly as I could, and we got past Button. And now we're making the long run down the pit straight. Probably one of my favourite pit straights on the calendar, just because of all the different inclines on the pit straight. And as you can see, we've got tremendous straight line speed down the inside into turn 1 on Max Verstappen. We get another place in this Grand Prix, and it's not over yet here. Coming around turn 3, Max Verstappen takes a lot of the curve going through turn 3. I decided against it, and now I'm going to be looking to attack Sergio Perez. I go down the inside. Perez turns in on me as I brake, and we both make a little bit of contact, but at the end of the day, I managed to make myself through. If you guys didn't watch the US Grand Prix yesterday, you would have seen the Alonso Massa move. If you guys know about it, that was kind of the same thing that me and Perez had there. I was alongside, and then he comes into the corner. So maybe it didn't help that I did go late on the brakes, but I was just doing what Ricciardo does all the time here. Now we're looking towards Felipe Massa. We were going to go around the outside, but I decided to switch back and go down the inside of Felipe Massa. And unfortunately, the Brazilian crowd are probably going to want to punch me in the face for overtaking their homegrown favourite. But nevertheless, I honestly do not care, and I want to get as high as I can and try and go from last to first. That's my objective, and I'm on it right now. So as you can see then, the DRS has actually been enabled, I do believe. Now my attack is on Valtteri Bottas. The DRS is open. I go to the left-hand side of the circuit, which is going to be the inside, into turn 1, and I've already got past Bottas at this stage. His car is a lot slower than mine, and the place is mine. And we're now up into 5th place. Next up is Kimi Raikkonen, followed by Vettel, followed by Ricciardo, and then my teammate Lewis Hamilton, who leads this race. On to the end of lap 4 then. Now my next target is going to be Kimi Raikkonen, and we have been closing up on him quite rapidly. And these medium compound tyres actually are working a massive treat for me at the moment. I really am liking going on this alternate strategy, and fastest lap of the race so far from myself as I look to close in on Kimi Raikkonen here, and I've done just a good job in trying to do that here. And now as you can see, I come swooping around the outside into turn 3, getting the apex sorted, getting the car ready. DRS is wide open, and as you can see, I'm going to go to the inside line into turn 4. Down the inside we go, and as you can see, once again, the AI is turning in on me into turn 4. They've got to stop doing that there. But we managed to get through on Kimi Raikkonen nevertheless, and we are now up into 4th place. Next up on the road is Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari. Moving on to the end of lap 5 to start lap 6. And quite a few of the soft tyre runners have actually come into the pits. But Mr. Kimi Raikkonen, just like in Mexico, doesn't want to concede the place and doesn't want me to just ramp off into the distance like everybody else has. He thinks that I should fight for when I've overtaken somebody, and it's exactly what he's doing. So as you can see, coming now down to make them run towards turn 4, Raikkonen goes with the DRS, and I brake nice and late down the inside there. And once again, the AIs turn in so bloody early, but unfortunately it actually affected Raikkonen, so it didn't really affect myself. But the AIs are really weird into turn 4 round here, something I realised after a long time. Skipping all the way ahead now to lap 11 of the Grand Prix, we're going to be making our pit stop. So everyone else came into the pits. Hamilton was stuck behind some traffic of the likes of Grosjean and Gutierrez. And now my time is my pit stop time. So it's actually quite weird. I've never really gone out so long on my first stint. My first stint's normally to lap 5, lap 6. This time we've gone all the way to lap 11. Now starting lap 12. And we're going to be bugging on those faster, soft tyres. So we're going to be nice and quick to the end of the race, and my attempt, of course, is to close the gap between me and Hamilton and battle him at the end, which should be an entertaining scrap. Coming out of the pits now, you can see one of the Haas drivers has actually come out in front of us, but of course he needs to make his pit stop. And Daniel Ricciardo has actually managed to come out in front of us, but we did actually do a massive overcut on Vettel. As you guys remember, it was Hamilton from Ricciardo, from Vettel from me. Now, after the pit stops, it's Hamilton from Ricciardo, from me, from Vettel. So I've actually jumped Vettel because I went longer and I was just basically faster than Vettel. You can see him there in the background. That little Ferrari spec you saw there just coming out of turn 4 was Sebastian Vettel. So we've got a big gap on him. And now I'm looking to try and make my way past Ricciardo, who is on the hard tyres. So he's on the orange marked tyres. I'm on the yellow marked soft tyres. I give him a little bit of a bang at the bum to basically tell him to hurry up. I then do the same switchback move that I did on Felipe Massa a couple of races ago. A couple of laps ago. The fastest middle sector there. And all good. Skipping ahead to lap 13 of the Grand Prix now. And we're set the fastest middle sector once again. But this is the turning point in the Grand Prix that I didn't expect. And you're going to see it in just a second. About now. Teammate in the pits. Hamilton has come in for a second pit stop in this Grand Prix. He's gone on to the soft tyres. And I'm sorry, Hamilton, what on earth are you doing? He was in the lead of this Grand Prix by over 6 seconds. I had to close him down. And I was seriously thinking, do I have enough time to close Hamilton down? I did not honestly know. Hamilton then pits. He came out behind Vettel. He overtook Vettel. But he's not only lost out on the win, he's lost out on Daniel Ricciardo as well. So, that's literally gifted it all to me. Onto the final lap. Round the final corner we come. We started 22nd on the grid. We fought our way up and we come across the line and we win the Brazilian Grand Prix from the back of the grid. A lot of overtaking, a lot of bumping and barging, especially through turn 4, as the AI are super aggressive going into turn 4. Lewis Hamilton making a very unnecessary second pit stop to go onto the soft tyres. So he went soft, medium, soft, whereas I went medium, then soft. And Daniel Ricciardo went soft and hard to the end of the race. So weird strategy from Hamilton. Hamilton, and you'll see it from the leaderboards, was the only person, apart from one other driver, to do a 2-stop strategy. And it was just weird. I honestly, I don't know why Hamilton did it. There was obviously a specific reason why. He may have taken too much life out of the mediums, or maybe he saw that I was on the softs and pushing really hard, that Hamilton could have done the same thing. And he did set the fastest lap of the race, did Hamilton, but I just don't see the need. I had to close the gap to him, and the gap was still really big. So it would have taken me a time, probably about lap 16, lap 17, before I even got up to the back of Lewis Hamilton. But I'm not really sure there. But overall, I was really fast around Brazil. I really love this circuit. Last year in the McLaren Honda, my best sector was the middle sector, and I was slow in the first and third sector because of lack of straight line speed. I was still quick in the middle sector this series, and I also had the straight line speed of the Mercedes, so I was pretty much untouchable around here. And even in practice, but not even, of course I didn't qualify, but in practice I was miles ahead of the grid anyway. So overall, pretty impressive though. We started at the back, and now we're last. I said that so badly wrong. We started at the back and we came through and we won the race. So we did the first challenge, which is quite cool. But in the driver's standings, we actually increase our advantage, and also in the constructor's standings, we also do the same thing against Red Bull. So everything good there. If you did enjoy a last to first challenge, basically, in this career mode video, drop a like, that'd be absolutely awesome. Once again, subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel already. And we're going to be getting all of our resource points here. We should get to about maybe like 1,200 maybe resource points by the end of this season. And then we'll get a 25% bonus of what we have. So we'll have about 1,600 resource points in which we can make some upgrades to the car for the next season. Or if we don't even stay there, I don't even know yet. I need to check the poll. I do believe at the moment, Mercedes are in front in the poll at the moment. Still, they kind of have been ever since the poll started. But it has been a very good fight between them and Red Bull. But you've still got time to decide. And as you can see, there's a team update from Emma saying, yo, the board, they're good, they're happy, they're chilling, you know. But that's going to be it then. But that's going to be it then for this video. Next up, you'll see the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which is the finale. Until then, guys, I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.